That was when OpenAI's then Vice President of Research, Dario Amodei, left with his sister Daniela and more than a dozen senior researchers. The split was driven by concerns over AI safety and OpenAI's increased commercialization. The Amodeis, along with 5 former OpenAI employees, co-founded Anthropic in 2021.
Right, guys, so it's pretty clear that Claude could win the enterprise and ChatGPT could win the consumer. So getting exposure to Claude is pretty vital, and this stock we're going to cover is a great way to get exposure. So the stock is called SK Telecom, the largest telecom company in South Korea. Think of this as the AT&T of South Korea. Okay, so let's dive into the exact position that SK Telecom has in Anthropic, the parent company of Claude AI. In August 2023, SK Telecom's venture arm made a strategic equity investment of $100 million into Anthropic. Now, this wasn't just the financial investment, it was actually tied to a strategic partnership to develop AI solutions for telco-specific LLMs across multiple different languages. Now, looking at the valuation, at that time, think about this, August 2023, most people hadn't even heard of Claude. ChatGPT only came out in November 2022. So this was a few months later. Now, Anthropic was reported to be valued at around $5 billion at the time of that investment. Now, that may seem high, but if you look at the valuation of Anthropic today, the March 2025 valuation was $60.5 billion. Now, today, in 2026, it's believed that the valuation could be as high as $350 to $380 billion. And it only seems to be potentially going up, especially if an IPO occurs for OpenAI and then Anthropic. OpenAI could be one of the first ever $1 trillion IPOs. And Anthropic, if it keeps up its growth pace, could potentially be the enterprise software version of OpenAI. Now, according to analyst estimates, there could be a lot of dilution in SK Telecom's stake and could be around 0.5% of the company. However, that would still give it around a $2 billion valuation at the current company valuations that we estimate. It's also worth mentioning that this Anthropic deal is not the only thing positive for SK Telecom. So they are currently going through what's called a turnaround. Now, I'm going to tell you some pretty bad numbers that the company had in their past quarter, but the potential that they could turn around. So between 2024 and 2025, they only grew 4.7% per year, which is not that great, but as expected, around 5% growth for a large telecom company. However, the real issue they had was their operating income was down 41% year over year. Now, this was mainly due to costs incurred to respond to a cybersecurity incident associated with their early retirement program. Now, this, of course, caused a further net income impact of 73% based on their last earnings and a penalty payment. Now, the companies took this pretty seriously, and even in their latest video released in March, they talked about the fact that they had lost their way, they had lost the trust and love of their customers, and now they want to get it back. Now, I know a lot of companies do this, but it does seem quite genuine, and I think given the culture of Korea and the traditions, it seems like a genuine approach from management to actually turn around the company. And they, of course, they're backing it up with some real actions, mainly focused on the AI space, which have been ongoing even before this incident. SK Telecom is transitioning from a pure telecoms provider to a sovereign AI infrastructure player powered by NVIDIA. So the company plans to build out AI infrastructure with over 1,000 NVIDIA Blackwell GPUs, making it one of the largest in Korea. It's also been selected as a provider for the national program to support the development of the nation's AI foundation models, which I'll get into shortly. Now, the company also has published its third 6G white paper called Athena. As shown in the other video, the company likes to be the first to market in every new technology, from broadband to phone originally, to 4G to 5G, and now 6G, and now AI. the company also unveiled K1, Korea's first $500 billion scale, hyperscale AI model, which is pretty substantial. Now, given this is a government-related teacher model, it's a significant milestone in enhancing the global competitiveness of Korean AI. Now, the company also has a number of AI services that are rolling out, including a digital twin platform, which can replicate real-world environments, to a robot training platform, and much, much more. Okay, so diving into the technicals, it's clear SK Telecom is a great play as a turnaround opportunity, both in terms of the initiatives the company is taking to transform into an AI infrastructure player, as well as the partnerships, the deals, and of course the Anthropic investment, which is the main driver that we like to see, worth around $2 billion at this stage, and that could go up. But the investment was made, 2023, and the stock pretty much didn't move that whole time. So it's pretty clear that not many people actually knew about this, and recently it started to obviously pick up steam. 12th of Jan, there was a big pop here, and then there's a big pop, and now there's been a bit of a correction back, but it's still early. Like, there's still not many people that know about this, and once a few larger institutions start getting in, then this could definitely rally, especially given there's a lot of more investment going into AI infrastructure and real world assets. Now, of course, there is a risk because these people who made this profit here are probably starting to take some profit right now, and hence this pullback. So I would say the risk is it could drop back to maybe here. Seems unlikely, but it could pull back to potentially here, for example. If you found this video helpful and you're interested in learning about these type of stocks early, and also my options trading AI system, which I've developed with a hedge fund to help you basically trade stocks in a more professional way. And this includes both teaching you how to do it based on how institutions trade stocks, because it's very different to what you see online, and also a AI options trading system, which will guide you on every single trade. Now, current system that we've developed can give passive income of between 15 to 20K USD per month. Of course, it's not guaranteed, but based on the historic record, that's basically the figures that it's currently delivering. It's not for everybody, and there's a few different strategies in terms of options trading. But for those interested, I'll leave a form in the description below, and you can express your interest. And I'll also leave a video on the subject.
To join the community by hitting the subscribe button and of course the thumbs up, and let me know what you want to see more of, and I'll see you guys in the next video.